sketches by Marquise of the different dragon species, my acceptance letter to the University of London, and a watercolour painting. I brace myself for the question Ursa asks most days. "Where is Sophie?" I turn reluctantly toward the painting, trying to ignore the sudden longing that floods through me. My own grinning face stares back at me, and beside it, the face of my dearest, oldest friend. "I've already told you," I say, cupping Ursa's face in my hands. "She's gone away." I haven't seen Sophie since the summer, since she failed the examination and was demoted to 3rd class. In the space of a few weeks, she was forced to give up on our dream of attending university together and move away from her family's home in Marylebone to a halfway house in a 3rd-class quarter. I shudder at the memory of results day. Sophie's weak cry, the way she sank to the ground like a deflating balloon. The grim face of her father as he stooped to read the paper in her hand. The guilt rises like a tidal wave, knocking the breath from my chest. "Sophie's 3rd class now, Ursa," Marquise says, glancing at me nervously. I rip the painting from the wall. "Ursa!" Mamma's voice calls up the stairs. "I'm waiting for you, sweetheart." Ursa darts from the room without a backward glance, and a few seconds later the front door slams. I drop the painting into the wastepaper bin and pull a lace blouse and trousers from my wardrobe. "Will you let me dress?" I say to Marquise before he can mention Sophie's name. He nods, gathering his belongings, and leaves the room. I let the tears come, hot and inevitable, as I pin up the front of my hair. Then I blink them away angrily. What I did to Sophie is unforgivable. But it's too late to change things. I made my choice, an ugly, necessary one, and now I have to live with the consequences. My sorrow is nothing compared to what Sophie must feel. A few moments later, there's a knock. I open the door, and Marquise offers me his arm. "To the bookbinder," he says with a cheerful grin. He's wearing a camel trench coat, and his dark hair is styled to perfection. I loop my arm through his, and my anxiety subsides. The day stretches ahead, bringing us closer to the moment I'll impress Rita Hollingsworth with my portfolio. I feel a rush of anticipation. If tonight goes as planned, I'll be one step closer to becoming Vivien Featherswallow, draconic translator. Fitzrovia hums with activity, and I grip Marquise tightly as he sachets between the street sellers peddling sweet treats and boxes full of trinkets. Many of them turn to greet him. Marquise, whose effortless charm and wit has brought us all sorts of privileges since we were children, is loved by everyone. A group of bearded men are inspecting a collection of antique books, holding up eyeglasses to admire the gilded edges. The familiar Bulgarian language sounds sweetly in my ears, and a row of painted religious icons stare out at me from one of the stalls. "Rebel dragons detained in Durham," shouts a newspaper vendor. "Is the peace agreement in peril?" Marquise turns to read the headlines, and I snort. In peril? It's been in place for over 50 years, as if a few rebels are going to bring it down. The peace agreement between Prime Minister Wyvenmeyer and the British Dragon Queen allows humans and dragons to coexist harmoniously. Without that and the class system, we'd still have overcrowding, homelessness, and the hunting of humans and dragons. I don't understand the sudden backlash against it. "I heard a delicious rumour yesterday," Marquise says as we cross the street into Marylebone. I step over a deep fissure in the pavement, the impact of a dragon's tail left over from the war. "Hugo Montague's current girlfriend said her brother-in-law saw a dragon and a plane in the sky at the same time, flying side by side." "That's a lie. Dragons and planes have their own designated routes to avoid collision," I recite, opening the door to the bookbinder's. A bell rings shrilly inside. "Well?" Marquis